Welcome to the Heroes of Cosplay Sanctuary on YouTube. This is your host, Scotty B. Be sure to like the video. If you like it, comment and subscribe, and be sure to hit that bell so that you can be right here when the new videos drop. And of course, new videos should be coming out every Friday or even more often if we can. Links on how to find us on social media will be in the show notes. So let's get into this now fully YouTubed version of the Heroes of Cosplay, and generally was a podcast, but the show format will be completely different from this point forward. You can go to the podcast for completely different content than you can on YouTube. I'm very excited for everything that we'll be doing in this space. So of course, the first thing I'd like to do for our holiday special is talk about the winner of the giveaway. So thank you so much for participating, everyone, and congratulations to Gotham Geek Girl. Gotham Geek Girl, of course, super big fan of her YouTube channel and really enjoy everything that she's coming out with there. Of course, you can find her on gothamgeekgirl.com. She does so many awesome things. She has so many awesome cosplays, and it was really just a super great coincidence that she won, and we are actually sporting some of her merch on the show today. I will awkwardly turn around later and show you that. But you may have also noticed that the person who gave away the winner of the giveaway, was none other than Astravoid Cosplay, who will be our co-host here starting today, and as long as we hopefully can keep her entertained to be on the show. So without further ado, I would like to introduce to you my very first guest from the show and now co-host, the amazing Astravoid Cosplay.
Hello, I just totally did that. It's fine. Hi. What a great way to start this off. It's amazing to be here. This has been talked about and in the works for a very long time, and I am overjoyed to get the chance to talk to you guys and to be here. So yeah, just hello and thank you.
Yeah, and we have a lot, like this is going to be really different and scary for me because this is way out of my comfort zone to get in front of the camera and do things. So we will learn as we go, ladies and gentlemen, which is a really fun thing about how people can grow on YouTube and in these spaces, especially in cosplay, because when you start with cosplay, it's all brand new. It doesn't always turn out the best, and you learn as you go. And you get really, you feel like you really accomplish things, and that's really what we're all about on the show, is growth and value and all the cool stuff that we're going to talk about, and all the cool stuff that Astravoid is going to be bringing into the show. She's so amazing. She does so many cool things with makeup and with her cosplays, and she knows so much more than I could ever possibly now stuff into my brain about how everything fits together in the cosplay world.
I wish all of that were true. I feel like you're definitely hyping me up, which is great. I honestly, I'm still a baby and I'm still learning myself. So I'm definitely, I definitely know more now than I did when I first appeared on the show, which is an improvement. It's good. But I definitely have a long way to go. So hopefully you guys get to watch me grow as I grow. And I hope you guys enjoy watching that, I suppose.
Yes, and speaking of enjoyed watching, so holidays and Christmas was pretty cool. Wonder Woman 84 came out on HBO. Of course, a lot of people went to see it in theater, which I didn't because it's 12 degrees outside. And it was just way more easy to sign up, even though like signing up for anything is like 300 verifications and codes and things like that. But once I got it, got to watch the movie, and I think you, Astra, you went to the theater to see it, right?
Yeah, so one of my good friends from high school, his name is Javon, he surprised me with tickets. He texted me the moment that it all dropped, and he was like, hey, we're going. And I was like, okay. So we had planned this out for a while. We went, and everything was so safe. They had hand sanitizer, it was distance, there was masks, it was just, there were only two people like next to each other, which was my friend and I, and then it was like giant spaces before the other people in the theater. So everything was completely spaced, everything was 100% safe. It was honestly just perfect. So it was an experience I definitely didn't want to miss in theater.
much like the Zack Snyder produced movie, which was pretty good. I thought overall, like there were some things, I'm not going to give anything away because some people maybe didn't watch it yet, but I thought that the action sequences were fantastic. I thought that just the flow of the movie, um, honestly, I'm probably going to get a lot of bad comments for this, but I thought it felt a little bit more like Shazam than it did like some of the, like an Aquaman, or like even, you know, some of like a Man of Steel. Like it definitely wasn't dark, definitely wasn't broody. There were some tear jerky moments, but
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, definitely brought tissues with me. But yeah, I agree. I said my friend and I both agreed that we preferred the ending to the first movie better, but as a movie overall, the second one was a better journey. It was a harder hit, and it was just a very beautiful thing to go on and to watch. And I'm not trying to give anything away, it's very hard. But if you've watched it, you know what I'm talking about. It's a very intense, but like in a good way. And they kept everything lighthearted for the most part. And it was just a literal journey. It was amazing.
yes, and what a great message that it gave, even if it was just a little bit cheesy at the end. That's okay. I think it really had a good message, and I think it really fits with the time of the year, the season of giving, the time where, as cosplayers, and maybe not even as cosplayers, we like to talk about the things that we want to do with cosplay, the giving back, the sharing, the energy that we want to put into the community, the reaching out, the awareness that we want to raise for the causes that we support. So I really want to listen to and hear about the things that you have kind of seen this last year, Astra, in the community. And like, have you, with even without the ability to go to the cons and without the ability to be necessarily on the visits that a lot of cosplayers do seek out for fundraising things and for visiting children in hospitals, do you still feel like there was still a lot of participation and a lot of give back this year from cosplay?
I feel like it kind of goes both ways. I think that there was a lot of giving, but I think that there was also a lot of people accepting the fact that they needed help as well. So I think that there was a big like shift in mental states, especially with cosplayers, but with everybody too, where it was, more focused on community. So it was helping each other, but it was also giving. This kind of goes with the theme of Wonder Woman, giving, but also taking the time to realize, okay, I need to take a step back and I need to do something for myself too, because if I give everything away, I'm not gonna have anything left. So I noticed a lot of people were doing fundraisers and stuff for all different types of organizations, which was amazing. And I also noticed, I mean, like personally myself, I had to take a break too because I had some personal stuff going on in my life with family. And so I spent a lot of time giving with them and giving my time to my grandparents and helping with them. So that was where a lot of my focus was. Mine was more local community, and I think a lot of other some people did that, but also a lot of people did bigger sort of situations, and both are completely valid and helpful. Both put good out into the world, so I think both were beneficial. And I think I focused a lot more, like I said, on my family, and I focused on trying to keep. I've always been the type of person to try to make people happy and make jokes. So I tried to focus more on that end of things, on the entertainment side of things. That's because it's my forte. So I tried to focus on being the distraction and helping people that way, because I've been told I'm good at that. So that was my thing. And yeah.
Yes, and it's super important that you do spend time, and I guess if there's a tip for the show, so sorry, there's nothing at the end that you're going to fast forward to get like some super secret thing, but I know that's like the YouTube, get people to watch more of your video. But really, self-care, everybody, self-care is really important. And I think a lot of cosplayers forget that because they're so busy trying to cultivate more content for their following. I mean, there's so much work that goes into everything, so there's a lot of stress. And if you don't take breaks, if you don't take care of yourself, it's really hard to serve anyone else. And like, that I've talked about that before. There's a show in the Wayback Machine from I think season 1 where I spend time talking about self-worth and comparison and kind of that keeping up with the Joneses cosplay sort of effect that goes on in the community, always trying to like up level and do a little bit more than you did the day before. But at the end of the day, we're human beings and we're in cosplay. Like it's, for me, it's a hobby first, and then it can lead to other things. But you know, that the root of it is, you know, this is something that after I have all of this other stuff that I have to get to kind of, you know, pay bills and be like go through the normal things, that I have cosplay as the outlet. So you don't want to make it a job, right? Because then it's like too much stress and things start to get really like they kind of fall apart and they can get really crazy, especially when you're trying to do a lot of things at the end of the year, you know, and think about all these different things that you can do to like get back and to be a better human and to actively participate in a community like cosplay. I mean, and there's just a lot of spaces where you can.
I'm definitely like a people pleaser. I know a lot of cosplayers can relate to that. So for me, like one of the biggest things starting was I wanted to do it for me because I want to make me happy, but going to cons, it was also about everybody else and like the kids and the fans and the people who just really enjoy that sort of thing. I've always been the type of person to never say no when it comes to, oh, can I get a picture? Can I do this? Can I do that? And the more, you know, you grow, the more you do XYZ, it becomes really hard to say no. And I had to, that's a hard lesson I had to learn this year with all the opportunities kind of thrown at the wall at me. I had to start picking and choosing, and it was like tearing me apart to tell people no. But it was one of those situations where it was like, if I don't, I'm going to end up burning out. So it was definitely a lesson that I had to learn this year. So
Yeah, and there's a ton, there's always more to do. Like you, of course, you can always do more. You can always kind of like push yourself a little harder, but it's not the best way. Like if you listen to anybody online, if you're Googling for like self-help and the manifestation, the woo-woo stuff, they will all say the same thing. Like they worked themselves to death and it was like the worst thing that they ever did to themselves. It was like a bad idea to push that hard and to try and do that much. And sure, they made money and, you know, things went okay for a while, but they basically just burned themselves out. And looking back on it, they're like, oh, I would have completely done this differently. I would have given myself way more of a runway. I would have, you know, made a lot of better choices for myself. And I think that's really important for cosplayers in general to make those choices. And I know a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but some have pivoted away from cosplay. Missy Mayhem being my big example for that. And I think maybe there was some burnout there. I wish I could talk to her. I should try and find her on Twitch and ask questions because it's just so interesting. Like what she's doing now is so amazing on her Twitch feed and just with everything she knows about Photoshop. She does tutorials and things on her YouTube. But I think there was some frustration there. Clearly, she kind of got burnt out, and you know, all the creation and just no like the why wasn't there. There wasn't enough reward at the end of all of it, and that can be really difficult. You know, especially if you've done it for like 10 years.
yeah, absolutely. I think, and I mean, I've only done it, I think I'm coming up on like my second year now, but the thing you talked about with the reward, like personally for me, my reward was I would build and I would build and I would create, and then I get to go to a con and I would get to talk to people and like show it off and take pictures, and that was my reward, was like the people and the response and the atmosphere. And when everything shut down, we didn't get that anymore. So everything kind of just went away, and people flocked to social media to have that same sort of reward. And then with the algorithms and everything changing, it all just kind of fell apart. And I know a lot of people who gave up and a lot of people who stopped doing it. Even one of my friends I know who stopped doing it. So it was sort of a thing for myself, but also to them that, you know, there are other things that you can do to get that same feeling. It doesn't just have to be, you don't have to give up. You know, you can keep finding new things. And when Instagram started to fail, I just kind of took a hard right to TikTok. And from there, I had that feeling again of people and community and just excitement. So if there's anything that I would like to take away from that, or give away from that, it would definitely be to always try to adapt, always try to overcome, because you never know what life's going to throw at you. Nobody knew this all was going to happen. And there's always a way out. There's always an answer. You just have to find it.
I don't really have anything more to add to that, actually. I was just trying to absorb all of it. I'm like, yes, that's
a bit much. Sorry. Took a hard left. But
no, and it really was. It's very cool that you pivoted to TikTok, and you've really just blown it up, really. And I know we talked about this a long time ago on your first Instagram, that I talked about you taking the internet by storm then, and like now it's just like exponentially so good for you to be on there and to be able to share all of your content with everybody, and to be co-host on the show, which is just super awesome. It's just awesome to have you here, Astra, to really just see how everything shapes up.
Yeah, absolutely. Going back to what you said before, the thought of the first episode just blows my mind now. I feel like it was so long ago. I honestly, like I told you back then, I'll tell you the same thing now. When I started, I had absolutely no idea anything was going to happen. No idea anything was going to go from there. But for context, for those of you who don't know, I started consistently posting on said TikTok roughly about a month ago now. And I believe the last time I checked it was last night, I think. And it's at, I think, 21.5 thousand people now, which is insane. I don't even know how to tell you, that's insane. All of my friends think it's the best thing ever, and then they're like, you deserve this, and I'm like, I don't think I do. But it's very humbling in a weird way for me, I guess, because I don't know. It's that same thing I told you before of like, that's the reward. You know, it's people enjoying what you do and wanting to see more and believing in you. And I love that feeling. I love when people tell me that I inspire them, or that I, help them in any way, because that means a lot to me. So it's definitely a good feeling. And the fact that I now get to do that here, and I get to talk to people about things that I love, that I'm passionate about. Plus I get to hang out with Scotty more, and he's great. So best Christmas present ever.
I try to be.
You are.
I think it's just a really fun opportunity to have you on the show, and to be able to kind of pivot into a new dynamic for the show. I think that
right.
And the
Exactly.
potential, and
Yes.
seeing everybody else's potential and how they can grow and how we can help them do that. Like that's the whole idea.
Yeah.
And that's, I guess before we go, I just want to make sure that everybody knows that this black shirt that I'm wearing is it is a Gotham Geek Girl shirt. And I should have flipped it around for the show, but it's super uncomfortable to wear that way. And so I will awkwardly get up and see if everybody can see on the show, if everybody could see the Gotham Geek Girl logo on the back. She has a lot of really cool stuff. She has mugs, she has t-shirts, she has all sorts of merch. So I will put that in the show notes so that you can go and check her out. And congratulations to her again for winning the giveaway. And thank you so much for being a co-host for the show, Astra, and for being here. And really, it's going to be a lot of fun in weeks to come. We have a lot of things that'll be rolling out.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I am ecstatic to be here. As I said before, it's been in the works for a while, and we have so many things coming. So many things. So please stay tuned, and I hope you guys enjoyed this episode.